Dear learners, welcome back to your educational channel, Learn and Educate, where in this video we would be studying about the cost. In the subject of cost accounting, what is cost? Cost accounting as is a branch of accounting which has been developed because there were few limitations in the financial accounting, wherein the financial accounting lacked on few aspects about calculating of the exact cost, the difference between the cost in terms of nominal cost, actual cost, the direct indirect cost. Moreover, the classification based on its functions like the direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, and selling and overhead expenses, their proper classification, recording it in a proper format. Therefore, the cost accounting got developed, and moreover, industrialization after the factories, setting up of factories, and manufacturing activities took on a huge growth, wherein the differences between the manufacturing, that is variable cost and fixed cost. Therefore, cost is in relation with respect to money, is the actual amount of expenditure which is paid or which is to be paid for a specific product or for the purpose of performance or specific activity. The amount of resources which is expressed in terms of money, not currency, but expressed in terms of money for the purchase of goods and for the provisions of a service, that is a cost. The cost for producing of product, the cost for providing of a services, the cost which is in a quantitative aspect, the cost which covers both present cost and the past cost, the cost which is related for the purpose of development of a facility, for the purpose of development of a capacity for manufacturing of the goods. The cost, the financial accounting deals with the historical cost, but wherein we can use the historical cost as well as the costs which are determined in advance, that could also be recorded in a cost. That means by the cost accounting, the cost which is useful for the determination of prices, selling prices to be specific. What happens when the cost of arranging the resources has been ad- calculated, and a few portion of profit is been added to that so as to calculate the actual selling price after the calculation of cost. Cost is with respect to the transactions which are expressed in terms of money. Calculation of cost is helpful for the purpose of achieving a desired result, for the purpose of actions to be taken with respect to savings in unit. The savings are permanent in nature. The cost accounting can be continuous in nature, which means the accounting for the cost, the maintenance of the cost, which are continuous in nature. Why? The reason behind it is for the purpose of calculation being done by the accountants. Costing is a branch of accounting. The calculation of cost is definitely the purpose of accounting. It is a function of accounting. What does an accounting does? Calculation is a totaling the incomes and the expenditure. Cost maybe, or people generally tend cost as an expenditure, cost as an amount of money which is paid, which is being out of the pocket. But when the cost is helpful in decision making, it is under covered by the cost accounting. Therefore, cost is everything which covers about the actual amount of money paid or payable, the fluctuations, the prices, the finding of the price, the wastages, the controlling of the inventory. The cost also covers the material cost, the amount paid to the workers, the amount paid for the other manufacturing expenses. The cost calculation of cost helps to the manufacturing entity for the purpose of setting up of sales price, various methods and techniques used for the purpose of calculation of cost. The cost as a term is applicable to every aspect, whether it is manufacturing, irrespective of its size, or which means short form, which means the manufacturing entity which produce goods in a small quantity, and the entity which deals in bulk quantities. cost is useful in the shorter period, that is for in terms of 1 day, 2 day, or for a shorter period of time, or in terms of years, 5 years time, 10 years time. The cost can be expressed, which covers the longevity, the time aspects also. Cost incurred for the owners, cost incurred by the employees, cost incurred by any person are covered by the term cost. Therefore, cost as a word, which means it measures the actual amount of money. The cost is expressed in terms of a product, the cost is expressed in terms of time, the cost is expressed in terms of service. For the purpose of ascertainment finding cost as a noun, it is the amount of expenditure which is paid or payable for a specific product or an activity. And when cost as a verb, which is defined as for the process of ascertainment of the cost for a specific product or a service or thing.